Hey friends, it's Rosie from iHeartRecipes, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I make my bread dressing / stuffing. I absolutely love this recipe, and I'm actually going to share the recipe while I make it in this video. So, listen up close. We're starting off with a large loaf of French bread. I just bought some regular old French bread from the store, and as you see, we're going to cube it up, and I'm just going to cut it in large size cubes. And once I'm done doing that, I am going to grab my large baking dish or my cookie sheet, and I am going to spray it with some nonstick spray, and then we can start adding the bread on top. Now FYI, my oven is being preheated on 325, and I'm just going to let this bread toast in the oven until it reaches my preference. So place that in the oven, and now we can start dicing up our veggies. So for this recipe, you will need 1 large yellow onion. You'll also need 1 large red bell pepper, as well as 4 to 6 stalks of celery. It really depends on how much celery you want to use. And then you're also going to need some garlic. I love garlic, so I use a lot of it. But you can use anywhere between 4 to 6 cloves of garlic. I believe I used 5. So once everything is nice and diced up, we are going to remove the bread from the oven, let it cool down, and now we're going to start cooking up the veggies. So in this pan, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of bacon fat. You can use butter if you want. You can also use vegetable oil. We're going to place this pan over medium heat. Start adding in the onions, the bell pepper, and the celery. Hold off on the garlic, and we're going to cook this until it's nice and translucent. So we're going to let this cook, like I said, until it's translucent, nice and softened. And we're also going to season these veggies with some salt and pepper. And I added in a teaspoon of salt and a ½ teaspoon of black pepper. So again, the heat is on medium. And now we can start adding in our diced or minced garlic. So add in the garlic at this time. We're going to let it cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. Mix everything, make sure it's well combined, and then you're going to turn the heat off completely and set this stuff to the side. So now we're going to grab our bread, place it in a large mixing bowl, and then we are going to start pouring in some chicken broth. And for this recipe, you will need 3 cups of chicken broth, and I'm using regular store-bought chicken broth. I did not make it homemade, but if you like, you can certainly make some homemade chicken broth. And I also added in 1 large jumbo egg, and I don't know where that footage is, but I did add it in. So season up the mixture with a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning, and I also added 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. And as you see, I added in all the veggies. I'm going to mix everything until it's well combined. And then we're going to grab our baked dish. So my baked dish has been sprayed with some nonstick spray. You can lightly butter it if you choose. We're going to place in our dressing mixture there. And at this time, my oven is being preheated on 350. And then we're going to place this dressing in the oven uncovered. And we're going to let it bake for about 45 to 50 minutes. When your dressing / stuffing comes out, you'll let it sit for about 5 minutes or so, and then you can serve, or you can do like I do, and I just like to add a little more color by adding some parsley on top. Of course, this is completely optional. You don't have to do it, but like I said, it looks really nice. But let's go to some better lighting so that you can see how amazing this bread dressing looks, y'all. Bam. There you go. And I love to serve this with like baked pork chops or baked chicken. It's endless what you can serve this with. But I want to thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and head over to my blog, iHeartRecipes.com, to print out the measurements.